What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Valley Up Podcast. I'm your host, attorney Danny Gonzalez, the car accident champion, your attorney in your car accident case. Today, we got a special guest, UTRGV head coach for the women's basketball team, Lane Lord. Coach Lane Lord, thank you so much for being here on the Valley Up Podcast. We're thrilled, man. So the head coach for the women's basketball team here at UTRGV, tell us a little bit about that.
It's just an unbelievable opportunity. And I've coached, I was a high school coach for 11 years back in Kansas. I grew up in Texas, Waco, Texas. And then I went to college and played in Kansas, student taught there in Wichita, Kansas. And I coached football 11 years in high school, boys basketball for 2, coached baseball the whole 11 years I was as a high school coach. But my third year as a high school coach, the head girls basketball, they called them girls back then, the head girls basketball job opened up, and I was like 25 years old and young and dumb and wanted to be a head coach, and they gave me the job, and here we are 30 years later and coaching Division I basketball. So it's been a fun ride. It was tough going from football and then straight into girls basketball at the time, and but I learned a lot about coaching through my experience as a football coach, defense coordinator, assistant baseball coach. Had a lot of really good mentors, and then was able to win some 6A state championships in Kansas, and then went on to junior college in Kansas called Barton County Community College. Was there 3 years, and then went to Pittsburgh State in Kansas, which is NCAA Division II, and I was there 11 years, and then I finally got back to Texas.
Nice.
So it's been a while.
So this upcoming season, when's the first game?
Our first game is November 3rd and November the 9th. So we have 2 games at home, and then we go on the road for a couple at Texas State, Abilene Christian, and then we come home and play University of Houston right in the UTRGV field house. And if you haven't been to the field house in a long time, we just got a $30 million renovation. Like everything at UTRG right now, it's growing and the construction's everywhere, and we got a beautiful new entryway into our arena, and new fan store, concession stands, restrooms, Hall of Fame area. It's going to be a totally new experience for our fans, and we used to have to go outside to go to the restroom or go to the concession stand, get a couple of beers, but now they can stay inside or go outside.
Okay. So it's going to be ready to go?
It's ready. It's ready.
That's awesome. I know one of the things you mentioned earlier is that you'll be playing Texas, right?
We are. December the 10th. We played Texas at home 2 years ago, and we had the largest crowd to ever watch a women's basketball game, 6,570 people at Bird Ogden Arena. We're trying to get it to 8,000 this year. Texas is ranked number 4 in the country in women's basketball. They made the Final Four last year.
They did.
And they got 4 starters back. And so we there's a lot of Texas fans down here in the Valley. Yeah. So we feel like hopefully our orange will I'll do the burn orange, but we expect to have a great crowd and show off our team against one of the best teams in the country.
So low-key, I'm a UT alumni.
Yeah, right.
That's my alma mater, but honestly, I'm going to be rooting for you guys. But don't tell them.
I won't tell them.
So what are the expectations, Coach, for this season?
Well, last year we moved conferences. We were in the Western Athletic Conference, and because of football, we were able to join the Southland Conference, and we started a year before football did as far as the new conference. But it's allowed us to recruit more regionally, because we have 7 Texas schools in our conference, and then we have 5 Louisiana schools. When we're in the Western Athletic Conference, we had to go play at Grand Canyon, Utah Valley. We had Seattle in our conference. Yeah. We had to go to LA and play Cal Baptist.
I mean, that's kind of cool, right?
It's cool the first year, but when you it's a lot of wear and tear on your kids.
Oh, I can imagine.
You leave on a Wednesday, because we always partner up. So we'll leave on a Wednesday, play Thursday. Then we had to fly on Friday to the next school we played on the road, and play on Saturday. You don't get home until Sunday.
A jet lag.
And so it was tough to win. It was tough to recruit because of if we're going to play in Texas, it's hard to recruit Texas kids when you only have 1 or 2 teams in your league with Texas. So Just in this last 2 years, you can really see the change in our team. We're playing much better, and our expectations are to finish in the top 3 in the league. We finished 5th last year. We've got the nation's #1 rebounder in the country in Division I back and at the post position.
And who's that?
Her name's Charlotte O'Keefe. The #1 rebounder in the country last year, Alyssa Morrow, was drafted 6th in the NBA draft from LSU. And so we have the #1 rebounder in the country on our team at UTRGV. This is her 4th year in the program. She's from Kansas, my Kansas ties.
Right.
But
Is that how you got her?
that's how we got her. In fact, one of the state championships we won when I was a high school coach was against her high school.
So that's legit. How y'all nice, bro.
The old ties,
Hey, sometimes, you got to use whatever to your advantage,
Exactly.
So shout out to that, man. And so how's the conference looking?
It's a good conference in women's basketball. Southeast Louisiana won it last year undefeated. They were 20-0 in the league, and we had them on the ropes at home. We had a kids' day, so at the field house we hold about 2,800, and we had it sold out, and they beat us at the buzzer. But we end up 11-9 in the league. They won the league. The coach leaves from Southeastern and goes to McNeese State. It was one of the bottom teams in the league. Well, she took her whole team with her.
Oh, did she?
So McNeese is going to be a really good team.
Because they're in our conference, right?
Yes.
Right.
Stephen F. Austin, who's good in football too.
Yeah.
They're good in women's basketball. Really nice program. They'll be up at the top of the league. I think we'll be up there as well in the preseason predictions because we got some good players coming back, and we signed some good players.
Let's go. So who's your starting 5?
We probably have like 6 or 7 that we have some transfers. We have a point guard from McLennan County Junior College here in Texas. It's in Waco, my hometown. Her name's Jalea Ingram. We call her Bunny because she can jump out of the gym.
Yeah.
So we call her Bunny. She's a taller point guard on the women's side. She's about 5'9", 5'10". Really athletic. She was an All-American in junior college. She's a difference maker. We in recruiting, we beat out pretty much every team in the Southland and Texas State and UT Arlington. I mean, we beat out some really good schools to get her, and she's going to be a difference maker for us. And then we have a transfer from Houston Christian, and her name is Erin, and she played 3 years at Houston Christian, and she's a point guard too, but we can play them together. And those 2 pieces alone are going to make us much better. Then we have a transfer from New Zealand that played junior college ball in Florida. We lost our leading scorer last year to graduation, and this girl is going to play that 4 spot for us. So we got O'Keefe at the 5, this New Zealand girl at the 4, and then we got the 2 transfers at the 1 and 2, and then we have Gianna Angiolette from Austin Westlake High School.
Okay.
That started every game as a freshman last year. She got hurt at the end of the year, missed the last 10 games, but she's back. And then we got 4 other really good sophomores back from last year that played a lot of minutes. So we feel like we got a really good top 9 or 10, and we have some depth.
Let's go, man. Let's win that conference.
That's the goal. We got the momentum right now because of football.
Right.
It's just changed every sport. We were talking about recruiting earlier. Being in the conference helps us recruit, but having football helps us recruit more than anything. When you can bring recruits to a football game and see the atmosphere we have at UTRGV right now, people are just bleeding orange and gray right now. And, all the souvenir shops and Vaquero Outfitters and you name it, 7 Day Addiction, all these places that sell our gear, they can't keep it in stock. And you see it at the football games. And that momentum is going to carry over to the rest of the sports. And it's just an unbelievable time to be at UTRGV.
Exactly. What a time, right? What a time.
What a time.
So tell me how you ended up as a head coach here at UTRGV.
We had some success in Kansas at the junior college level and the Division II level. And I always wanted to get back to Texas. My wife's from Kansas, so it took me a while to get back. But
so you brought her here?
Yeah, she's here. And in fact, my daughter just had a baby 3 weeks ago.
Oh, congrats.
Tomorrow, I'm a grandpa.
Let's go.
And she lives here, and her husband coaches on the baseball team at UTRGV with Coach Matlock. So we got our family here, and it's taken us a few years to get everybody down here, but this is our home. We're never leaving. We want to retire here, and we love the Valley. We love the culture. We love the people, and we love our university. And it's just a great. We couldn't be at UTRGV at a better time in the history of the school than we are right now.
I agree.
And it's just, we're fortunate to be here.
Yeah, man. No, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for being here.
Oh, we love
You
it.
know what I'm saying? Not only the Value podcast.
Hey.
Well, that's too.
And we love South Padre.
Yeah. Let's go, man. But one of the things I did want to kind of talk about, would you say there's been like a difference in the play, in the sense of like level of play throughout your tenure as a head coach in regards to women's basketball? Would you say there's been like an elevated skill level, would you say? Like these, well, women, right? They're like balling a little bit harder now, would you say?
I think the women's basketball game in general is at an all-time high. We always used to say we're like 20 to 30 years behind the men. But now you see the NCAA tournament games are selling out every single game. The WNBA with Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese, and it's just, they're selling out the WNBA now where nobody used to go. I think people really enjoy the women's game. It's a clean game. It's pure. It's very skilled. And I think it's at an all-time high right now. I've been coaching women's basketball for 32 years.
Right.
I've never seen this much excitement for women's basketball. It's been a long time coming, but, it's hard for me to even watch. I mean, I love men's basketball too, but I'd rather watch a women's game. That's just, I'm biased, but that's the way it is.
No, man. I mean, there has been that, I think, more attention, especially like you mentioned with Caitlyn, with Angel Reese. And I did want to actually touch on them, right? I maybe a little touchy subject here and there, but I mean, what are your thoughts, on them? I mean, how they've changed the game?
Well, first of all, I think they're great for each other because
it's like you have one on one end and the other on the other end, right?
And so they pique the interest of everybody. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you're an Angel Reese fan or a Caitlyn Clark fan. When they go against each other, they argue against each other. It's just great for the women's game. And, anytime you get exposure, it's good exposure, exactly. Good or bad. And I think they've really captured the United States, well, the world really, and helped promoting our game. And then you see what our women have done in the Olympics. Yeah.
They've dominated, right? Like every single Olympic.
Yep. Every Olympic Games. And I think we have a lot of Europeans that are now playing college basketball. You see it in the NBA as well, where some of the best players in the NBA are European as well. And well, those kids they don't play college sports in Europe or overseas, so they get the opportunity to come here. They take advantage of it, and I think that's helped grow our game as well.
So Angel Reese or Caitlyn Clark?
Well, I like them both. Yeah. I like Angel Reese because she can rebound and she's feisty, and she reminds me of Charlotte O'Keefe, who plays for us, who's just has a knack for the ball. Remember, you're probably too young, but Dennis Rodman. You ever
yeah.
Always was around the ball. That's how Angel Reese is. That's how Charlotte O'Keefe is for us. But then I love Caitlyn Clark too because I was a guard, and I love the way she scores the ball. She's a great assist player. She makes her teammates better, and she's not cocky, but she's so competitive that it makes her come off as she's really cocky too. But sometimes you got to be cocky to be that big time competitor like she is, and I think she draws so much attention. And I mean, you got to remember the WNBA 3 years ago was using commercial flights to go to game. Now they all have private jets. And that's all because of Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese.
Like you said, they're meant to be.
They're meant to be. Yep.
One of the things, I mean, I know it's not related to women's basketball, but on the men's side, like NBA, I guess would you say there's been like a little shift in the way that they play?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's more, back when I was in college and certainly early in my career, the men's game was all about Hakeem Olajuwon and big post players, Shaq and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and it was always an inside-out game, and the game has totally changed to now there's really no back-to-the-basket post players. Mm-hmm. It's all a face-up game, and even you got the guy from the Spurs at 7'5" and he shoots threes and handles the ball,
Yeah.
So everything has become more skilled, but it's also become more of a guard-oriented game. Even your post players have to play like guards. And it's starting to trickle that way on the women's side too.
Right.
But I still think our game is more pure, and I'm just biased. But
no, I think you're right in the sense of skill and the sense of like the passing and all that stuff, right?
I feel like sometimes the men's game is more of a one-on-one game. Kind of clear out a side, let your best players go to work, which if that helps you win, I understand. But I think in the women's game, there's more fluidity in the offenses and, more passing, like you said, and they play more together. I really believe that.
Yeah. And hopefully it doesn't, get to one-on-one and stuff like that. But I think it'll stay pure for as long as it can.
Me too. And, I used to not have white hair, but 30 years of coaching women's basketball, it just happens. But I think I'll be out of the game by the time it gets to that point where it becomes a one-on-one game, because it's just no fun for me to coach. I like the team. And when you have a group of young ladies, group of women that believe in each other, they believe in your university, and they play for each other, you got to always have a chance to be decent, have a good team.
So, Coach, when you moved to the RGV to coach here at UTRGV, would you say a culture shock, or would you say, were you expecting the way the Valley is, or were you surprised, or?
Well, when I came on my interview, it was like a 2-day interview, and I got to stay. They put us up in a hotel, my wife and I, and just from going out to restaurants and meeting people, it was one of the most warming communities. And we really noticed that on our interview. But then once you get here and you get ingrained in the community, it's exactly what we wanted. It's family. Yeah. And UTRGV, Edinburgh, McAllen, Mission, our little area down here, the Valley, all the way to Padre, it's a family-oriented community, and that's exactly what we wanted to be a part of. So to answer your question, no, I wasn't cold. I'd been down here growing up in Waco. We used to go to South Padre all the time growing up. And so I'd been to Edinburgh, I've been to McAllen, but I was a lot younger. And then, of course, Brownsville and those Los Fresnos and those towns down there. So we were pretty familiar, or I was pretty familiar with the culture, but, it was different for my wife being from Kansas, where she was a farmer and, a wheat farmer, and grew up in a small town and all that. But once we got here, everybody embraced us, and couldn't be more happier to be in the Valley.
Yes, sir. What about your top 3, I guess you could say, WNBA players?
WNBA, we'll go Angel Reese, Caitlyn Clark, and then I really like Caitlyn Clark's teammate, Sophie Cunningham. She got hurt this year at the end of the year, but really good player, and I actually recruited her to Pittsburgh State when I was in Kansas. She came to our team camp, and so I've known her since she was like in 5th grade, so I always got to throw her in the mix.
Of course.
But yeah, I'd say those 3.
What about your top 3 favorite food joints here?
Ooh, that's a tough one. There's so many good ones.
I feel like it's a must ask because we have the best food
we
in all
have
Texas.
The best food. I'm going to start with Italian.
Let's go.
Okay. I love Cordone's. I don't know if you've ever been there, but he came from Chicago and he played baseball here at UTRGV, and he's still here. Met somebody here and never left. So Italian, I go there. Mexican food, I'm going to have to say Coco's.
Okay.
I love Coco's. Barbecue, we go to Ray's Barbecue.
Okay.
I think what they do best is their sauce. And, it's good stuff. And then Mexican, we like Coco's. We like, we like everything. I'll go to Stripes and have a breakfast taco.
One of those cute tacos?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we love all the Mexican food. You really can't go wrong on that. Italian, El Forno.
Oh, yeah, it's good too.
I like the Republic because it's got variety. And then the old Italian restaurant, a friend of ours that owns Cordone's, we like to go there. And sports bars, which we really like because you can watch games and hang out with friends. We got a lot of them we go to, but we go to walk-ons. We go to the draft house close to campus. And probably we're good friends with the baseball staff, Coach Matlock and them. And our hangout is the bar area at Chili's.
Okay.
It's right by campus.
That one always hits.
Right by the baseball field. So that's kind of our coach's place we go to.
Now, and I just thought about it right now, and I think it's relevant in basketball, right? And I think it's one of the debates that's ongoing in it. I feel like as years go on, it gets a little bit more heated. Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
It's not even close. It's Michael Jordan.
Honestly, I'm on the same boat, man.
All right, so we had a San Antonio Spurs number 12 Bowen. You were in Bruce Bowen. He came to campus 2 weeks ago and talked to our men's and women's team, and then he also talked to all the athletes. It's called Life Skills. We do it once a month, and they bring in speakers. And that was his number one thing. He goes, well, I had to guard Michael Jordan. And then the next night, I had to guard Tracy McGrady. Then I had to guard Carmelo Anthony. And then, he was just talking about all the people he had to guard. And he goes, all you men's basketball players sitting here, he's talking about our players, our men's team. He goes, I know you think Kobe's the best, or LeBron's the best. He goes, Michael Jordan number 1, Kobe number 2, then LeBron. And he said, there's no question. Those other 2 guys are up here, and then here comes LeBron. And that was my era growing up when I was in high school and college, is watching Michael Jordan. And there was not a better competitor I ever met in my life. And back then, you were too young, but they would fight in games.
Yep.
And they didn't get kicked out or anything, but you had to be tough. And I think nowadays we're a little bit softer and not as tough as we were back in the day.
Yeah, and I think, of course, partly they want to try to, keep the players safe, right? Yeah. But, I mean...
Everybody is bigger, faster, and stronger.
Yeah.
That's true. The other thing is back then in the 80s and 90s, there was no super teams. So you stayed with the team, you got drafted, and then you had to build your team within your team. The free agency isn't what it is now. So now LeBron can say, all right, I'm going to leave Cleveland and I'm going to go to Miami and win 6 championships or whatever he said, the decision.
Yep.
And then he can leave there and go somewhere else, or you name it. Back even when the Celtics won their couple rings with Ray Allen and Paul Pierce, and they had that group of 3 guys that were really good. Kevin Garnett was the other one. But back in the 80s and 90s, that wasn't the case. You had to pretty much stay with who you got drafted with and develop together, and that's why I think Michael Jordan is a step above the rest.
No, and I think that's a good point. Like, you would very rarely see, one player on like 3 or 4 teams. They were just on one team, maybe towards the end of the career. That's right. They would go to another team, yep. Right?
Even like Charles Barkley, who's one of the greatest on-air personalities. He's funny.
Yeah, he's super funny.
But he played with the 76ers forever. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of his career, he went to Phoenix. But if you signed a contract, you played it out. And that's how it was back then. And that's why I think that era was just a tougher era.
Like I said, I think I'm on the same boat, man. Michael Jordan, man. I think he's a GOAT in that era, or in basketball in general. So, Coach, one of the last questions I want to ask you is, what's the legacy that you want to leave here at UTRGV?
Wins and losses are what they are, but I want to be remembered as a coach that took care of his team, took care of his players, and took care of the community. And that's more important than wins or losses. I want to make sure our kids graduate. I want to make sure they have a great experience in the Valley, and we want them to stay in the Valley, right? So we want them to have a great experience, and I think that's more important than wins and losses, is taking care of people, taking care of your community, giving back to your community. And this is our community. So this is what we love, and that's what I want to be remembered for. Yep.
I think that'd be a great legacy, so.
Yeah, I've coached for a long time and won a lot of games, and 600 and something games. That doesn't matter if you can't have a player from 10 years from now say, hey, Coach, hey, I need some help. Will you help me, Or, hey, will you walk me down the aisle if my dad died? It's all about relationships. And if you build relationships and you take care of people, that's why I do this for a living, is because it's so rewarding I mean, my wife's part of every one of these girls' lives, and it's just fun to get to know. You know, we got people from all over the country and the world. We got a player from Israel, we got one from New Zealand, a poor girl from Israel. You know what they've been going through. Yeah. Her brother's in the Army. She was in the Army for 2 years because every high school kid has to go to the Army in Israel. She just got out of the Army in August. She's a freshman here, 20-year-old freshman. And then to have the peace agreement the other day, I mean, it's just so cool for her family.
Yeah. And
then we have the girl from New Zealand, a girl from Dublin, Ireland, and then, kids from Texas, Kansas, Seattle, California. But just getting to learn everybody's personalities and help these young women become more than they thought they could be. That's why we do what we do.
And your wife, you mentioned it right now. I mean, does she love every second of it?
Oh, yeah, she loves every second of it. The kids come over to our house all the time, and they all have laundry at their apartments and stuff, but if they want to come over and get a different meal than the cafeteria or the restaurants, and they're always over. We got a pool. They come over and swim. It's a family environment. It's what the Valley is. It's family. And we try to make sure our kids understand that that's what we're all about too. And they can call me 24/7, 3 o'clock in the morning, no questions asked. Don't make bad decisions. We'll come pick you up. Whatever they need, we're always going to be there for our players. And that's the legacy I hope I can leave here.
Like I said, that would be that. You seem like you're, fixing that way to leave that legacy, so kudos to that, man.
I appreciate it.
So that's all we got here for you guys, the Valley Up podcast. And of course, our special guest, Coach Lane Lord. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate you, coaching here in the Valley and being part of this podcast.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I appreciate it, Daniel.
Of course. Hopefully we can have you again, maybe towards the end of the season.
Yeah, let's do it before we go to the conference tournament.
Before we go to SPI.
That's right.
So tune into the next episode, guys. Valley Up.